Howdy, howdy, guys.
Oh, hey, sweetheart, when you get a sec, if you could give me the flash drive for the printing.
Oh. Somebody's going to want me to be printing all weekend?
Yeah, I've been asking. So, just as an FYI, I downloaded some stuff. Oh, you left the dog in here. Stop it. Okay, Freya, sit.
She didn't want to come out. She wanted to protect you because you were talking to a
No,
stranger on
she
the phone.
wants my leftover dinner.
Leftover dinner, protect your heart and soul. Same.
She's like being
Wait.
super
She
behaved
has
right
a
this second.
soul? I thought it was gone already.
No, that's
Well,
me, not the dog.
Oh, okay.
The dog has a soul. And she's like, I'm being so sweet. I'm being so nice. Why don't you give me your leftover meat?
I mean, she'd hate for it to go bad.
Oh, yeah, she would.
It's just not good if it was to go bad. First Vincent forgot that his brother's birthday was today, so he couldn't game. And now Joseph forgot that his cousin was flying in. And now he has
Oh,
to hang out
dear.
with his cousin.
What? This is outrageous. Outrageous.
So
Well, I
what?
guess we can discuss what characters we want to make for the next game.
Yes, I want to be a Roomba with a kitchen knife taped onto it.
That's fucking awesome.
Well, because we're police officers, right? So we're cleaning up the streets.
Roomba, 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 Roomba.
Yes, I would like to be a cyborg. With I still can't decide which I want. I think whether I want the drone hand or whether I want like replaced eye or something. So, but yeah, I want to.
Why not get the best of both and get a drone eye?
I don't think that's one of the options on the list.
It's not, but it's funny.
Dude, creep out all the organics. It'll be great.
You just look at him and say, "Oh, you need a lower GI? Just swallow this."
See, so what's your perspective, guys? Do you think a drone hand or eyes would be more useful for the group? I would have a soldier background.
What's the benefit for the eyes?
Oh, well, you can see in the dark. What was the
It takes out black dice for smoke and darkness.
Yeah, that type of thing. With the drone hand, I can send it in, like it can like get recon for us, that type of thing.
So it sounds like the primary difference is passive versus active. And for me,
I don't know. The drone eye sounds like a better and better idea.
For myself, I like to have as many passive things as possible because I forget about the active things. So
yeah, I was thinking of losing my eyes in from a flash bomb kind of thing in battle.
Ooh, yes.
I have a soldier background, you know.
So, this last week and a half or two, since the allergies have been pounding me, are a bit of blur, and I really can't remember very much because I've been trying different medications. Do we have a link to what we're talking about? Because right now I'm pulling it out of my rear end.
We do not yet, but I did share the books in Skype if you need the PDFs.
Okay.
So the setting is basically Android Shadow of the Beanstalk. The idea is it's the year 2X99, X being it doesn't really matter because it's in the future, so everything's cool and technological. It's pretty
Isn't that
much
the year that Mega Man takes place in?
I think it might be.
I think it might be. Like specifically, I think it might be Mega Man X takes place in that year.
But the idea is that a few years ago there was a war with Earth, Mars, the people in space, totally the expanse with the Belters and the Martians and the humans. And the war ended. Earth basically won, so Earth's in charge again for the most part. The reason why it's called Shadow of the Beanstalk is in Ecuador, a rich guy built a platform elevator up into orbit, utilizing a captured comet that they caught, and they basically made this giant beanstalk up to space. So it now makes space travel cheap because you can just get it on an elevator and drive it up there like you're in Total Recall, the remake.
Yeah.
And then go to the moon, which is where the loonies reside, which is the nickname for Martians, because they're kind of like Battle Angel Alita, where they're long and stringy with big eyes, because the low gravity they've grown up in.
Are there werewolves in this setting?
It is not. It is strictly a cyberpunk setting, but there is the gene mod, which are basically the cool kids out there that have animal DNA put into them, so they can have animal-like abilities.
Well, I ask because in any setting where you can travel to the moon, I want to know what happens to werewolves on the moon.
It's the immortal question that must be answered.
Yes, what happens when you're on it? What if you're on the side that's not facing Earth or the sun? Or what happens? I don't know. No one answers these important life questions for me.
These are all important questions and more.
Okay, so space
Actually,
later.
I think technically it'd be fine because you have to see the entire moon to change, and you wouldn't be able to.
Unless you're so deep in the moon, it's part of you now.
No, because even then you wouldn't see the whole disk of the moon being lit up. It's like werewolves don't change on cloudy days.
Well, maybe what would happen is you would always be a wolf until the Earth came out. And then when you see the Earth, you would turn back into a human.
As you get the dun 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 dun, and the Earth comes up, and you immediately unvogue.
And you're like, yay, I can paint my miniatures now because I have fingers. All right.
I'm an unwolf now. It's like the uncola.
And I'm drinking water and I'm peeing.
And now everyone knows what my mother-in-law is doing. As we just look at Kelly and say, "Your mom."
She doesn't realize you're recording.
She looked straight at me. I made the shush face, and she still loud and proudly announces it. I think it's because we harp for her to drink too much water.
We do.
So in Android, it's basically if you were to take Altered Carbon, Total Recall, either version, or The Expanse, and that's kind of the era that Android takes place in because you have clones which have no rights. There's a total thing going on in the setting about giving clones rights because their property, every fast food place you go to is ran by clones. It's the same, Jack and Jane that are your servers at these fast food joints.
So it's the Pokemon world.
The same doctor and the same trainer.
Exactly.
And there's also Bioroids, which are basically your clanker robots. They're pretty close to human, but they're pretty much designed to do something. And for the most part, They have to, both the clones and the Bioroids have been conditioned to not be violent, to protect people, blah, blah, blah. But of course, players are the exception to the rule. And the occasional psycho clone or psycho robot. There's a cute little point they make that there's a brand of chauffeur clones that, for the most part, they're conditioned to be very passive and not be aggressive drivers. So little aggression that you can walk up and carjack them, and they're known for being easily carjacked.
Huh.
Because, of course, cyberpunk game. It's supposed to be, carjacking is supposed to be a thing.
So what you're saying is I could program a bunch of normal robots to stab people, but as their life purpose, but then they couldn't, so they would live in an eternity of despair.
Unless they broke that programming, because that can happen.
But that would be unlikely and hilarious.
Until it happens. See, you joke about this, but I'm totally having to write down notes and saying, okay, he needs to run into a criminal who's done this. All of a sudden, a Roomba full of knife-wielding, Roomba room with the knives.
Yes. The Roomba Enforcement Agency.
All you know is that people go walking by, and it's like in one of the Chucky movies, where everyone's getting their Achilles tendon cut.
Exactly. But before that, it's the scene like in the jungle where all you see are the eyes in the background, except it's the dark city, and all you see are the little Roomba lights in the background.
And if you're interested, I did send the Worlds of Android fluff book. It's basically based on the card game. That it's got 400 some odd pages of articles and stuff that were written for the card game, which is cool.
Sweet.
And the more than keyboard, that the pretense on that one is you're still just like the regular cyborg in the base book, except you're Ghost in the Machine full cyborg, and you've only got like one or two cool mods. All the rest of your cybernetics are basically standard cybernetics. It just means you're now mechanical and not flesh and blood.
It's set for your brain and your spine.
Mm-hmm. So that way the baddie can rip that out and, stomp on it.
Yeah, I mean, that's important. It's dramatic.
I mean, as one does.
Flawless victory.
Does the Shadow of the Beanstalk have any character creation things, or am I okay reading the World of Android and the More Than Human books?
It does. I was actually going to pull it up right now myself and basically go over them real quick as I'm waiting for the book to slowly come up, because it is a big book with lots of features. It's got the hyperlinks and all that good shit. So when you first make your character, because it's a standard Genesis system, you have the determining your background. So you want to pick whether you're a New Angelino, because New Angeles is the name of the cool super high-tech city. So you can be a modern New Angelo, which is basically just someone who lives in the nice side of town. You can be the disenfranchised or the disfranchisto, which is basically the Ecuadorian people who are basically kicked out of their own area. Because, of course, when the cool technology comes in, all the locals get displaced.
Yes.
Or you can do the trying to get by in a really big city. So it's that classic go to Hollywood story. Because if I can make it on Broadway, I can make it anywhere. And then for your race in the game, you have the natural, which is the regular human being from Genesis that can steal a story point back. And they have a bonus amount of experience compared to a normal human. They start with 120. And one skills. Then you have the Bioroid, which are basically the artificial humanoids. Basically, it's your Star Wars droid. Except they get Brawn 3 instead of Brawn 1 like a droid in Star Wars.
Ooh.
So you basically save yourself some experience points right there. Then you have the clone, which is almost human. They have a little lower threshold and a little lower strain and a lot less experience. but you get rank 2 in 2 different skills.
Ooh.
And anytime you make an opposed check, you automatically add an advantage because everyone underestimates clones. Because they treat clones pretty much like androids in Blade Runner.
Yeah.
You know, because sometimes you need to Blade Run a clone. Just saying. Then you've got the cyborg, which is a human that's got higher than brawn and lower presence because they're all Borged out. The picture of that is totally the cop from... I'm like, why is Kelly yelling at Freya? It's funny because I can hear her talk and I on my headphones. The cyborg starts with 1 rank in mechanics, and they get, normally when you get cybernetics, their version of cyberpsychics is you get a piece of cybernetics, you lose 1 strain because you're now more mechanical than people.
Yeah.
And when they first start, they ignore that strain stuff. But once per session, as an out-of-turn incidental, they can spend a story point to heal their strain back equal to the number of cybernetics.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And of course, they start with 1 cybernetic item plus 1,000 credits. And if you totally pick up what's the equivalent of Android's obligation, you can totally need to augment it. You're really limited with just $1,000 in cybernetics of what you can get. Then you have the Gmod, which is the genetically modified folks, because it's all the crazy cool punk kids want to do their thing. You get 1 rank in resilience, and then you have the ability called enhanced genetic modification that once per session, you can use your Gmods to modify the check. You can spend a story point to add 1 success equal to your ranks and resilience to the results. So basically, you're just saying you're using your modifications to get a boost for whatever you're doing. And of course, you know, when your character begins play, you start with 1 Gmod totaling 1,000 credits or less. And they've got stuff like Tail, Poison Fangs, all the cool, creepy stuff. Like if you've ever watched Batman Beyond.
Tail.
If you've ever watched Batman Beyond, you know, you can see like the Joker's, one of the guys becomes a hyena guy. You can totally do stuff like that. Then you've got the Looney, which are basically the Martians, or in the Expanse TV show and books, they be the Belters. You get higher than normal agility, but lower brawn because you're very wiry, you know, that whole elfin thing. Lithe.
Question.
Answer.
The tail, can it be prehensile?
I believe it is. I believe that's the point, but it's not as good as a prehensile tail should be. I can look it up in a little bit after I explain the rest of the classes. So for loonies, they have more strain than wounds. Start with the average 100 experience, and they get 1 rank in coordination because they're very agile and coordinated and shit. And 0G adept, that whenever they're in 0G, they don't get black dice added to their actions. Because, of course, they grew up floating. It's like if you've ever watched The Expanse, the Belters know how to move and dance in 0G. And they get resourceful. Once per session after making a skill check, you can spend a story point to have your character re-roll up to 2 dice in the pool. Which could be good, because you could pick the bad dice instead of the good dice. So after the races, you then have the classes. The first one is the academic, which basically it's you're educated in something, whether it's doctor, science, computers. You get to, you know, basically pick, and it has a list of equipment you start with. Pretty much they start with a stun gun or monoblade, and then they've got the everybody I think pretty much gets a slat patch, which is basically the stim from Star Wars, and a very small bit of cash, even though I believe they start with the best cash. Then you have the bounty hunter, which is pretty much your typical, it's a bounty hunter, it's a hitman, it's a detective, you know, if you want, you know, to be more militant than intelligent. And in the book, it gives you a list of useful talents that would be good for the bounty hunter. Like they suggest Tier 1 is durable, Tier 1 is hamstring shot, Tier 1 is street fighter, which by the way, they've got some good fighting ones in this book. Then special use permit, which is my favorite one, which y'all don't have to worry about because you're cops. But that one lets non-cops carry heavy range weapons with them openly without getting harassed. until you shoot somebody. Then there's the con artist, which is basically your talkie-talkie face man. Then you have the courier, which is basically meant to be your charming driver, knows how to get around the streets kind of person, because you're literally a bicycle messenger, but with all the traveling powers. You get the driving, the piloting, stealth, and survival. And if you take them, parkour is like one of the best talents to take, because parkour lets you just move a short distance. Or when you upgrade it, you can take a strain and move a medium distance just with parkour, not using your movement. It's ridiculous.
Do you have to say parkour when you're doing that move?
Of course. Parkour.
Parkour.
Then we've got the investigator, which is your typical cop or private detective. Their suggestions for him is tier 1 is bot info, because you can literally just buy information and get a success that way. Quick draw. Years on the force, which, by the way, that's a great talent for any of y'all to take, because it gives you a little boost. You can always say that they have talents related to each faction, the good factions and the bad factions. So you can totally buy a talent that gives you a background with one of the gangs or with one of the corporations.
My knife Roomba is going to have a years on the force talent. It's going to be wonderful. So where are you reading this? I skimmed the book and I have not found the...
Are you in Genesis Shadow of the Beanstalk, or are you in Android World?
I'm in World of Android.
So that's the
Shadow
fluff
of the
book.
Beanstalk.
You
is
want to
the
go
one-
into Shadow of the Beanstalk. That's the actual
Okay.
Genesis book. The one you're in is the fluff book, with all the
That
stories, and it
makes
talks
sense.
about the fluff and all the good stuff. It's a pretty book. I mean, the artwork is great in that one.
It looks fantastic. I did not miss that the Wayland Corporation exists.
I know, right?
That was the same thing Kelly did when I was explaining the corporations.
I even asked, is it spelled the same way?
And the freaking side's exactly the right side. It's like, oh no, oh no.
It's like
You're
someone
building better worlds, Kelly.
Yeah.
Building better worlds.
It's almost like they took the Blade Runner mod for Cyberpunk 77 that turns all the billboards into Blade Runner billboards.
Ooh, that sounds neat.
It's a cool mod, but it's only for PC. So then you have the Risty, which is basically short for aristocrat. Basically, it's the corp kids, the corporate rich culture that has begun, because, of course, it's cyberpunk. We all know that the corporations are evil.
Oh, there we go.
And
Ooh, I
their
like
thing
the
is they
suit on
basically
the
have
man.
lots
Wait. Do you mean to tell me there's somebody good in that world?
good from their own point of view. I mean, let's put it this way.
I mean, the corps are good in their own view.
In their own point of view, they're corporate fucking superheroes.
Everyone's a hero in their own story.
They're taking
Look
care
how cool this guy's
of the
suit
people.
is.
Just to give you an idea what
This
a
is a
Risty
fancy vest.
starts with, since they're super rich, they get a laser pistol or a charged crystal katana,
Oh,
personal comlink in one slap patch, and then a dose of Lofi and 4 doses of stim or 2 doses of sting, depending on how you want to get lit up.
Lloyd.
And then there's the roughneck, which is basically the working class person. They're the hardworking contractors, mechanics, farmers. A lot of them have experience from the war. So they get their career skills are athletics, gunnery, mechanics, operating, piloting, ranged heavy, and resilience. They're the rough and tumble types. They can adapt to almost any situation. And then you've got the runner, which is your classic Netrunner. Remember, Android is based on Netrunner. So the runner is basically your hacker. I will warn you, if you want to take someone who's really good at hacking, it's not just like in Star Wars where there's one computer skill. There's 3 specific different skills used for different things.
But I do imagine that they are all important in this world.
They can all be ridiculously important, and hacking a network is ridiculously hard side game, basically. because you start
What if
hacking
you
nodes. And
A really big axe, though.
you can hack that way too. And then, like Kelly was thinking, she's going with soldier, which is basically literally as it is. It's soldier.
Yep.
And then there's the tech.
Retired soldier working for the force.
How can that go wrong?
How many
totally
years from
blame-
retirement are you?
From the force, I never retire.
And then there's
first.
And then there's the tech, which is basically your brawl, computers, knowledge, mechanics, medicine, operating, and pilot tech. So the tech is good for, like, if you want to be a EMT type of cop, you know. I can help you after you've been gut shot. And then there's a
I can
bunch
make
of
that gut shot bigger.
and then there's a few skills that are specific to this setting, like they've got society. So it's basically like if you want to remember facts about the city, make an argument in court of law, want to remember how the average loony feels about the NAPD, which is, by the way, the New Angeles Police Department. There's
Napped.
the net, which is a intelligence one, which is basically knowledge about the internet, the shadow net, because the shadow net is the dark web.
Ooh.
Of course, in
Lord
this
of the
one,
Dork Web.
in this one, they warn you that when they say shadow net, there's like whole AIs running around in the cyberspace that could do bad things. Because remember, robots and artificial intelligence have no legal rights. So your computer skills are broken down into hacking, which is hacking, PsyOps, which is the offense, or if hacking represents the offensive use of computer skills, PsyOps represents the defensive or constructive uses. So if you want to like stop a hacker, you use PsyOps skill. And then there's if you want to be a hacker, there's a rig called Custom Rig. A talent called Custom Rig that lets you have your own custom hacking gear. You know, there's Corporate Drone, which means you basically get access to knowledge, society, and negotiation as a career skill. And you can collect a small favor from somebody of a corporation you pick. And speaking of favor, the buy-in mechanic on this one, you know, like obligation was for Age of Empire, is favors. So it's pretty much, it works mechanically like obligation, but it doesn't get used in play unless you choose to use it. So what it is you can cash it in to have a big or small favor. Small favors will get you 100 credits, which is totally a waste of time. A regular favor is 500 credits or 10 experience. And then the big favor is 1,500 credits or 20 experience.
Ooh.
So as you can see, that's a big jump compared to what we're used to. And basically it means that you owe them a favor. And of course, your different factions are the companies. All the corporations have their own faction. The major gangs, as well as the police department, the government, and the United States government, because New Angeles is technically America, because US of A annexed it once they found out it was valuable, because that's what we do.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go for the NAPD as my faction. Basically, all my family are cops.
What is the functional difference between a full-body cyborg and a bioroid?
The bioroid
is one still has a brain.
You still have a brain and you're a person, as opposed to the other one that's usually considered property.
Mm.
So your body is pretty much bioroid, but you have a brain, so you're considered, a human.
You also originally came from a human, so you're considered human.
Mm-hmm. And just to give you an idea on the levels of what a favor is considered, so for NAPD, since Kelly's picking that as hers, a small favor would be fixing a parking ticket or ignoring a minor infraction such as traffic violation or drug possession. Regular favor is staying out of a particular area during a particular time. Gee, I wonder what that means for cops. or provide information from law enforcement databases. Those both sound like dirty cop things. And then you have big favors, which is actively taking part in a criminal enterprise, or lose or discover, air quotes, an important piece of evidence to a major case. Because that would totally be if a local gang decided to help you discover an important piece of evidence. And basically it just means that you've got something to do with the ecosystem. Because, like, you can totally pick the gangs, and there's a bunch of different gangs you can go for. You can totally pick not gangs if you want to be cleaner and not involved in that stuff. You can even go crazy and go, like, global security.
Are one of the gangs purple and one of the gangs green? And do they fight to find out who's in charge?
We could totally have that as a thing. Think about it.
Because I remember that from the historical document Babylon 5.
Ooh. You know, on Netflix, I actually got the unpublished episodes. It was basically like the 5 years after they did a special 3-episode run.
Oh.
President Sheridan goes to Babylon 5 and meets with the techno mage, who basically wants him to assassinate one of the diplomats' nephews that's coming to the station, because they foresaw him destroying Earth.
That's unfortunate.
But his words kind of got him in trouble, because Sheridan, of course, did that whole "how do I find the way out of this?" And he realized, I'm going to take the kid home to Delenini, and we're going to raise this kid right. Because as the techno mage told him, this is one of possible results. But the safest bet is to kill him. And he's like, I'll take him home to my wife, and we'll raise him as a diplomat.
Because that never would make somebody turn evil.
No.
Well, it's far better than, his family, because he was third in line. Basically, the reason why Sheridan was offered to give him the ride is his family royal line is known for assassinations. The guy goes to sleep with a knife because it's known amongst his people that you can be assassinated at every meal.
He sounds like he would have a lot of fun with the Centauri.
He was actually the Centauri next in line after what's his name? I'm forgetting his name.
Emperor Veer?
Yeah, Emperor Veer. It was Veer, then his assistant, and then this kid. There's a reason why he was paranoid. I mean, after all, we all know the shadow's there.
The shadows.
And of course, weapons are pretty much just like Star Wars. They've got hard points. Everything can be modded. A lot of the weapons have a lot of features, by the way, like blast, breach, burn, a lot of piercing, a lot of vicious. There's a really nasty pistol that's only 500 credits to buy called the Auto Fletcher. Its range is only medium, but it crits on 2, has auto fire, pierce 2, and vicious 2. The only thing, okay about it is it only does 3 points of damage with pierce 2.
Oh.
So you're only able to soak one of those 3 points, and it shoots on auto fire. And it crits on 2. So you know what happens when you're going to be rolling those extra dice. And pretty much weapons are fairly legal to be walking around except for ranged heavy stuff. And restricted stuff. There's a lot of restricted stuff, like if you have the rocket launcher, yeah, that's totally restricted. The combat shotgun. This shotgun does 8 points of damage, crits on 3, which I think should be lower for a shotgun. Is only good short range, but has auto fire, blast 5, inaccurate 1, and vicious 2.
Well, That sounds good.
When in doubt, go with the shotgun. And then there's, of course, the Macer, which is basically a gunnery laser cannon. Only does damage 5, crits on 3, short range, but it has breach 1, cumbersome 5, unwieldy 2, and vicious 5. It's a weapon that could conceivably kill you outright in one shot if it crits. On the plus side, as cops, if anyone tries to shoot you with a micro missile launcher, it does have prepare 1, so you get 1 round to brace yourself. And of course, they technically don't have it in this book, but I'll totally use the military negotiation rules for if you want to try to requisition gear. Someone can always roll a negotiation to see if they can make it happen. Which is based, of course, on the rarity of the item. Especially since they'll totally say, sure, you can take that at an impound, right?
They let you borrow that stuff.
And to answer the question about the prehensile tail. Oh, that's weapon modifications. Gmods. And the More Than Human book has more Gmods and cybernetics in it as well. Yeah, you can totally be a Gmod that has follicle control. The ability to control their body hair to a point. If you want to have cat claws, they suffer 1 strain to have your unarmed brawl attack deal damage +1 and have crit 3 until the end of the encounter. And the claws are retractable, which is a good way of sneaking in weapons.
Do you have a name for this one yet?
I do not. I did start to get a lobby going, but I have not put anything in it other than a name. As I'll jump out real quick. It is so far called Android Shadow of the Beanstalk. That is the only name I've made for it. I'll post the link in Skype if you want. It's the open invite link. Though, like I said, I haven't made any characters or anything like that, I don't think. It was late that night when I was toying around with it. Oh, I did make some chapters. Yeah, I do have 6 blank characters in there. And a GM's chart, because I had to make sure that worked. Because when making a new lobby, one must make sure the dice pool works. Because if the narrative dice don't work, that's not good.
Yeah.
And it looks like Eric's already in there.
I have looked at it now.
You sneaky bastard. And this is the point. Would anyone like the link for the Genesis character builder?
Oh yeah.
Because if you're actually making a character, it'll save you a lot of time because it does the math parts.
Sweet.
Let's see, where's the Skype chat? Because the nice thing is it's all drop down windows, and you can make your selections for most of the stuff right off the bat without needing any books. It will want you to log in if you want to be able to pull up anything from the future. So if you have like a Google login, you may want to use that. The nice thing is it does have pretty much all the stuff you want. And if you print a character sheet, you can actually put your character's picture in its place so it comes up on there. I am a fan. Though it will give you options for everything. So like when you go to the archetypes, it comes up with all the archetypes, not just the setting specific ones. But if you put in, say, Byroid, it'll actually show you, it won't, much like Ogdude's character generator, it'll just say see page such and such, but it'll pretty much give you everything you need for it.
Nice.
And when you go down to the talents, it'll have, when you click the talent, it won't tell you what the talent is, but it'll basically let you click, and it has the talents by name. So if you have the talent book, I think it's 5.1 now. And it gives you the different, when it comes to your strength, flaw, desire, fear, it's got the drop down to have you put them in. And then you can add specifically for you what you want. Oh, I forgot I had that character name. Rando Calrissian. And it does keep track if you want to use that as an online character sheet for like other stuff. If you're like logged in on your phone, you can use your phone to keep track of it. And it does keep track of like crits and stuff like that too, which is cool. As I reach for my charging cord. And it lets you add weapons, armor, and gear. And if you don't, whatever you have, if it's not in their system, you can actually manually put stuff in too, which is nice. But the big thing is when you're making your character, it's great because it does the math for your talents and your character skills and your stats if you want to modify your stats. But I am a huge fan of the character builder, especially if you need to make stuff quick for a one-shot game. Just remember, it is web-based, so it is slow when it comes to populating stuff. So Kelly was thinking the cyborg soldier, right?
Yep.
See, we'll even go in
With
here.
NAPD Society.
So we're going to go with new character. Shadow the Beanstalk. What's your character's name going to be?
Heloise Paxton. Or Hell.
Feel like I'm back at work. What's your last name first? So how are you spelling Heloise?
Heloise.
That's a Heloise of a name. So we're going cyborg. And career is soldier. So you have 4 skills that you can select from: athletics, coercion, gunnery, melee, ranged heavy, ranged light, resilience, and survival.
Did you send us a new invite?
Now, I sent you in the Skype chat. You can get into the lobby if you want.
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Where's the?
See, I'm actually making your character
It
right now
didn't
in the
scroll
character
down all the way.
generator.
That's why.
Sweetie,
Yeah.
I'm making your character in the character generator right now as I'm speaking to you. So I need you to make pick choices. So you have 4 to pick from athletics, coercion, gunnery, melee, ranged heavy, ranged light, resilience, or survival.
Melee.
Okay.
Ranged. Light, I guess, because that's the most typical type of weapon we're probably using on the.
You're not the cop that whips out the shotgun. You're gonna whip out the pistol.
Yeah, pretty much. Let's see here. What does survival? I think I'll go for survival.
Okay, so you have 1 left. Are you going for athletics to be athletic, coercion to tell people to do shit, gunnery, or ranged heavy, or resilience?
I'm sorry, repeat that.
Athletics, coercion, that's the talkie talk skill, gunnery, ranged heavy, or resilience?
Resilience.
Okay, you're resisting that tear gas and the poison. That's a good choice. There's a lot of gear in this game that goes after resilience. So as a starting character, you have 14 wounds, 10 strain, Ahsoka 3. So for your characteristics, you've got 100 experience to spend. So your characteristics are Brawn 3, 2 for everything, but 1 in presence. Any of those you want to raise? Brawn is used for athletics and soak. Agility is used for all the attack skills and piloting. Intel.
Can I raise 2?
Sure. You have 100 points
I would
to
like
spend.
to raise brawn and agility.
Okay, so your brawn is 4 and your agility is 3. That leaves you 30 experience points remaining.
Let's see here.
I mean, you could always spend 5 to get ranged heavy in case you want it.
Yeah, let's do for ranged heavy. Be a well-rounded.
Okay, make sure you're good with all weapons. So you have 25 remaining. Is there any talents you're interested in? As I flip back to the book to see what their suggestions
are. I know, I'm trying to flip back to the book. Right. Okay, hold on. Let's see here.
Because their suggestions are actually really good suggestions.
Which page?
For the talents start on page 45. So, like, if you wanted to have, let's see, you were looking for the soldier one, right?
Well, the soldier is my background, yeah.
But there's a talent called World Wars Vet, which gives you ranged heavy and resilience as career skills, which you already have. But once per session, you can collect a small favor from a current or former member of a single country's military. Basically, you pick. So it's an old war buddy that can do a small favor for you.
Yeah, that sounds good. I mean, considering there's going to be a lot of veterans in this city and on the force.
True that. Okay, you've got World War Vet. And let's see. That one's ridiculous if you want to carry everything in the world. Big guns, you're your encumbrance now becomes 10 plus brawn, plus instead of 5 plus brawn, so you basically are big and beefy. But let's look at the soldier. So for soldier, they recommend for tier 1, quick draw is always good, because that lets you as an incidental pull a gun in and out.
Oh yeah, no, I like that one.
Okay, so let's give you quick draw. I mean, I would recommend quick draw for everybody, because then it frees up that first round where you actually get an ambush round. Okay. That means you can now take a tier 1 or a tier 2, and you have 15 points remaining. Remember, tier 2s cost 10. So, why did the book pop back to that page? I must have clicked something. Let's go back. So for soldier, they also recommend toughened, which gives you more strain. They recommend World War Vet, which you have. They recommend for tier 2 big guns, basically increases your encumbrance so you can wear more armor and guns. Tier 2, they also recommend Tactical Focus, which is on page 49. And Tactical Focus is when performing a combat check with a ranged heavy weapon, if you did not perform a maneuver to ready or stow the weapon, add 1 advantage to the result. But that's range heavy.
Ooh, we're getting close.
Repeat them.
The recommendation was Tactical Focus, that when performing a combat check with ranged heavy, if you did not perform a maneuver to ready or stow the weapon, you can add an advantage to the results. It's
That's
not
not
that
bad.
good. It's good, but
But
it's not that good.
what are the other options?
The other recommendations they have are, let me go back. Are suppressing fire as a tier 3, which you're not there yet. Big guns, which basically it doubles how much you can carry. And toughened.
And toughened increases.
Toughened gives you
strain.
+2 strain. Yep.
Let's go with toughened.
Because you like to take that extra maneuver. Okay, that gives you 10 points remaining. Would you like to put those in skills, or 1 more talent, or 2 more talents?
No, I'd like to put it in skills.
Okay, so what skill would you like to put 10 points? 10 points would let you crank up something to a 2, or you could do 2 1s since you have a couple career skills that have no points in them. Like you have nothing in coercion, ranged, melee, gunnery, you have nothing in.
Yeah, no, I want to, yeah, gunnery is what I want to up.
You want to up a big giant gun. I love that. Okay, that's 5 points remaining. Do you want to put it in athletics? You have nothing in that. Are you going to be the one that has to chase people down?
Yeah, let's put it into athletics. I can
Okay.
always beef up the other stuff as we get more points.
Okay, so for your motivations, what is your strength? Is it adaptable, analytical, courageous, curious, idealistic, independent, patient, spiritual, wise, or witty?
Hold it. There was one in the middle.
It's adaptable, analytical, courageous. Courageous. Okay, so your flaw. Anger, compulsion, deception, greed, ignorance, intolerance, laziness, pride, recklessness, or timid. I don't think it's that last one.
No, I'm thinking either recklessness or ignorance.
Wow, I didn't think you'd go with either of those. That's good.
Let's go with the recklessness.
You occasionally just have to pop off a relaxation shot. Okay, so for desire, is your desire ambition, belonging, expertise, fame, justice, knowledge, love, safety, vengeance, or wealth?
I'm thinking it's probably belonging. She wants to please her father.
Aw, I was worried you'd go for justice or vengeance, and then I'd say you're Judge Dredd. I am the
No.
law. So your fear, what is it you fear? Do you fear change, commitment, death, expression, failure, humiliation, isolation, nemesis? That means there's somebody out there. Obscurity or poverty? I mean, remember, in future dystopian cyberpunk society, poverty's a bitch.
Especially if you have to do maintenance on yourself. But I'm thinking failure.
Ooh. Failure to let down the legacy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm going to flip back real quick. So you have some choices here to make. Do you want a pistol and light body armor or a bullpup carbine?
A what?
Bullpup carbine. That's that short pistol where it basically ejects on your shoulder the cartridges instead of, it's the compact rifle.
I think the body armor.
That's the better bet in my book, is the pistol and armor.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the option I'd go for.
It's
So-
rough out there on those streets, and having served in the World War, I feel better having some armor on me.
You don't want to walk the streets naked.
Yeah.
Do you want durable clothing or a utility belt? Durable clothing is another form of armor. Utility belt adds to your encumbrance.
I think the durable clothing would be better overall.
Well, remember, you already have light body armor.
Oh, I do?
I mean, it does give you, well, that's the option. You can take a pistol and body armor or a carbine.
Oh, I thought, okay. Then utility belt.
I mean, you can totally opt for two types of armor if you want it, but. And then you have a choice of 2 slap patches, basically healing patches, or a dose of sting if you want to get sprained back.
Sorry, I coughed at the last part. What was the last one? Or
A
the
dose of sting. Basically, it's this version of spice.
No.
So the slap
don't think
patches for
it's-
first aid?
Yeah, exactly. She's not
Okay.
gonna.
And roll me a 1d100.
Oh, 1d100.
That's
Okay,
how many
hold on a
credits you
sec.
have.
Wrong page. There we go.
Oh, that's just sad.
Let me launch the game. Unsupported browser. Because for some reason it kept wanting to put it in.
Oh, in Skype?
Yeah, well, the Skype put me into. Normally, I launch it through Google.
Mm-hmm.
But it. Okay. 1d100.
1d100.
55.
You guys,
See.
I'm going to read over this for a little bit, but I think my allergy meds are making me wonky. So I'll talk to you guys later, all right?
All right.
Okay, feel
Okay.
better.
Have a
Have a good night,
time.
guys.
Hit me up if you got any questions. And Kelly, you said 55?
Yeah, that's what I rolled. It's
You have
in the game.
55 credits. Okay, so the last thing to do would be determining favor.
That's the
So,
society one.
Yep. Are you wanting to owe a big, regular, or small favor? I personally say go with the big, but that's just me.
I'm probably gonna go with the big.
Okay, so the big one is going to give you either 1,500 credits or 20 experience. Which are you going to opt for?
Let's go for. I'm sorry. I'm gonna go for the experience.
That's usually the best bang for your buck.
I mean, if I have a lot of credits, I mean that's just cops don't get paid that well.
Ooh, great way to look at it. And to give you
And
an
with
idea
serving
of,
on the
so big favors for the police department is basically taking an active part in a criminal enterprise, or losing or discovering an important piece of information to a major case. Those are just examples. You can totally, it's something big that you did for the police department that got you that experience. And that's going to be 20 experience points. Let's add some points to you. Okay, you've got 20 more experience points. How are you going to spend that? That could be like 2 rank 2s, or it could be some more talents.
Let's get some more rank 2s.
Okay, what 2 skills would you like to be rank 2 in? I mean, I know what I'd pick.
What would you pick?
I would pick athletics and ranged light, but that's just me.
Well, I definitely want ranged. What's my athletics at right now?
Your athletics is 1 gold and 3 green dice. It's pretty huge.
But athletics is my bread and butter for melee and stuff, right?
Well, athletics is used for, chasing, street chases, hurdling items, climbing, things like that. Melee is completely different. That's based on brawn, which is 4 dice for your character. But that's currently at 1 gold, 3 green as well. See, me personally, if I was playing this character, I would go with the athletics and range light, because that makes you more of you're the cop that chases while somebody else probably drives the car around.
Yeah, let's go with that, because I can always update the other stuff later.
Okay, that's spent your 20. And your current talents are adjusted to cybernetics, cyborg, quick draw, toughened, and World Wars vet. And you can totally look through the equipment list there and spend your cash. And when you decide on your cybernetics, just let me know. And I will totally put this character into Roll20 for you.
Well, I think I'm definitely going to go for an eye.
Cyber eyes.
Uh-huh. Is it one or both?
Well, you have 1 cybernetic up to 1,000 credits. And 1 is, I believe, 500. Let me double check for you before you quote me on that. So, cybernetics. Cyber eyes are 500. And let me read the descriptor for you here. Cyber eyes. Fairly common prosthetics. Cyber eyes are some of the most popular cybernetics obtained for enhancement rather than for overcoming an injury. A cyber eye can dramatically improve a character's eyesight, and many cyber eyes have night vision or infrared built into them as well. 1 or more cyber eyes increases your character's ranks in perception by 1, which is good because that's not a career skill for you. and removes a black dice caused by smoke or darkness on any checks you make. Your character can also display information from their pad, basically your smartphone, to their cyber eyes, further decreasing the strain. Normally, you would reduce your strain threshold by 1, but since you're cyborg, you don't lose that first +1.
Okay. Yeah, let's just go with one eye right now. Rather than both. Or do you think I should just go for both?
I'm cool with the sexy one-eyed cyborg look.
Yeah, see, that's what I was thinking, is just one eye.
Now, the question is, I'll have to ask, does your cyber eye have night vision and infrared? It's
Yes.
totally a flavor text thing that you get to decide, so I figured I'd ask now.
Both of them. You know,
I thought
like Predator, I can switch.
Okay. So I will change the or to one cyber eye, singular. Okay. Night vision and infrared. And I will give you 1 rank in perception. Okay, that's one thing I think may be the weakness in this is how do I add a rank without increasing your experience list? You apparently can't. So on your character sheet, we'll ignore that -10 because it's not really there. So you now have 1 rank in perception as well, which is good because you're a gold and a green for that. Your wounds are 17, which is kind of ridiculous. Your strain is 10. You got soak of 4, and no melee or ranged defense because it doesn't have your armor in there yet. You are the Goon Squad. Something tells me we'll eventually see this character pick up some melee weapons.
I figure I'd go with something a little more hitty than
No, I like it.
what I usually do.
And then I'll totally say, okay, Kelly, find us a cool image for your cyborg character.
I'm already working on it.
Somehow I knew you would be. That's funny. So what were you thinking of going with, Scott?
I'm going to go with the clone investigator.
Ooh, that's a good one. Because that's going to be a super skill monkey there.
Uh-huh. Oh, and I haven't broken out of my programming.
Ooh, so you're still a good guy by nature.
By programming. Nature has nothing to do with it.
It's all by design.
It's all by design.
So, of course, you know, the clone is designed for a specific job, like a Bioroid. So you have God bless you. You have 2 ranks and 2 different skills to start off with, but they can't go higher during character creation. You're often underestimated, which adds an advantage to an opposed check, which is always a good thing. Nobody sees the clone coming. An investigator. So for the investigator, your skills are coercion, computer hacking, society knowledge, leadership, perception, ranged light, streetwise, and vigilance. Yes, you are the initiative guy.
Okay, so according to the Genesis character creator,
Uh-huh.
if I take um per, if I take perception
Mm-hmm.
for both my career and my archetype, I actually can get 3. Three ranks.
It will let you. Technically, you shouldn't. It doesn't not let you, because if you take them both times, but when you make a clone, it does say during character creation it can't go higher than 2. It's just that in the character builder, it's not made just for Genesis. I mean, just for Beanstalk, so it doesn't
Okay.
know to stop you from going higher.
Okay, so in that case,
Are you saying you're genetically
What?
engineered to see shit? I like that. You're
What?
keen. Are you saying you're genetically engineered to see shit? That means you have
Yeah.
those keen clone eyes for detail.
So what skill would be like police knowledge and procedures?
That would be knowledge society.
Okay. Oh, they don't have knowledge society? Well, they do down there, but not here.
That's going to be an interesting one. Being a not broken clone yet.
Okay, so I'll just put knowledge 1, knowledge and perception
Mm-hmm.
for my 2 clone abilities. I think that makes sense.
Basically, it's what you were always meant to be.
And then, so I won't take perception for my career skill. Oh, but none of the other ones are. So, okay, so 3 of them that I picked are computers, hacking, knowledge society, and vigilance.
Okay.
But none of the other ones really make sense for a clone.
Well, you can use a non-lethal weapon as range light as well.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you're going to have a lethal weapon, but you can always, opt to have a non-lethal weapon that uses range light.
Okay. Well, no, I won't even carry I won't even carry a lethal weapon.
Your character purposely puts his pistol in the desk every day and leaves it behind.
Well, no, as a clone, I was never issued a pistol.
Well, see, technically your character will have a choice of a Fletcher pistol or a hand cannon. Technically, that you have access to. But it could totally just be that it's sitting in the gun safe in your desk and you never expected to get it.
Well, so can we switch that out for a non-lethal something?
Yeah, I can totally switch that out for a non-lethal weapon. I mean,
Okay, so instead of issuing me like the pistol or whatever, they issue me the non-lethal thing.
okay, I'm totally cool with that. I mean, do you know how deadly a hand cannon is? It's very inaccurate, but it's very deadly. It's that classic 357 hand cannon. Let me pull up the weapons section real quick, which I went way past guessing on the page number. Okay, so instead of the hand cannon, wow, there's so many weapons to go through. Okay,
which is any of these weapons only does stun?
that would be the Synap pistol. It's literally the same price as the hand cannon, so it totally works out. It basically is
Signet PSY?
Yep, the Synap. SYNAP.
Oh, SY.
Yeah, it's the bottom of the third
Okay.
energy weapon. So it's
Got that.
disorient and it stuns.
Ooh, 5 damage. No crit.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, it takes 6 to crit because why? It's a stun gun. It's not meant to crit.
Right.
But it's a stun gun for short range.
Perfect.
And the fact that it's disorient 4, that's huge.
So, well, doesn't that mean that I need 4 advantages to activate it?
Any of the special features can be activated with 2 advantages.
Oh, so that means they're going to be stunned for 4 rounds?
Oh, well, that's extra stun damage that it does on top of it. So you do 5 plus 1 per success.
For 2 advantage, I could either do 3 additional stun or disorient 4.
Yep, so for 4 rounds they're disoriented, which adds a black dice to anything they try to do. It's a ridiculously good stun gun. It's way better than the Star Wars ones, let's put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
And after all, it's perfectly normal for the cops to take a man alive. And it might make for some funny repartee with your teammates when they're doing lethal damage and you're doing stun damage. And they're just barely not finishing them off because you're doing 2 different types of damage. After all, you can just look and say, I don't think this merits lethal force.
Well, no, because then I'd have to... Okay, so again, the programming.
Mm-hmm.
The programming just means that I can't do anything. I don't have to stop other people who are using lethal force.
Yep.
If I feel it's if it's legal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It just means that you're the one with the hang up against trying to murder somebody.
Okay.
Now, of course, comes the question of, are you going to Captain America that shit, or are you just going to go, okay, that's, it's not my thing. If that's your thing, that's cool.
Oh, no. I'm not only gonna Captain America that thing. I want to know if I can get where is it? A mem run recorder.
Ooh.
Well, which goes straight to the which goes back to headquarters.
You basically have a cop body cam.
Uh-huh.
I like it.
So headquarters is always keeping track of me. Ooh, I will not have that much money.
Remember, you can purchase favor.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm figuring just being a clone and not a person is big.
Mm-hmm. Well, think about it. You could owe your favor to your creator company if you wanted. Because maybe they gave you to the police department. You give them a taste and you see if they want to buy more after that. I mean, wait.
What if we cyber cop it? Unbeknownst to me, there's some type of thing where I can't, I don't work properly, like if I'm investigating the company.
Okay.
Like they would be able to see everything I'm doing anyway, so they'd know what was going on.
Oh, I like that. Okay. I mean, after all, when you get a chance to read up on Genteki Corporation, they're the Japanese corporation that does the cloning. They are super shady.
Right.
Go figure, a corporation connected to the Yakuza that makes clones. Rumor is they have made psychic clones for themselves.
Ooh. Okay. And I actually don't even know that.
Yeah, well, it's not common knowledge, but it's basically one of
No,
the
no.
dirty little rumors.
I meant the fact that it can't actually go against the corp.
Okay, I'm super cool with that.
Or that the corp actually can hook into the mem run recorder.
Okay, they gave it to the police department and have a backdoor for themselves.
Exactly.
So yeah, in that case, you may want to pick Genteki as your favor that you owe somebody.
Okay.
So you
Where
then
is
have
that on the character sheet?
so on the character sheet, you just want to put it in the bottom in the comments.
Okay.
But when you're picking favors, so you want to pick a small, regular, or big favor. I always say go big, but that's just me.
This is a big favor.
Okay, so just to give you an example for Genteki, big favors with them would be like being provided a custom clone. Yes, they give clones out as currency. Grow and provide a cloned organ or limb for medical purposes, or pass on any rumors concerning Project Nesai or Detective Caprice of the NAPD. There's a high-ranking member detective that's a clone, but she's in hiding because she ran away. So basically, you may not even know that you've passed on information.
Right.
Okay, so you want to put big favor with Ginteki, which is Jinteki. On Kelly's, I just put it in the notes in the bottom, the very, very bottom.
Right.
Because that's a good place to put it. And are you wanting cash or experience? I mean, it could totally be.
I think I need to do it to get the mem run recorder. Even though the mem, what does it? Okay, what does it actually do?
Let me go to that page real quick.
It's page 8. Yeah, it doesn't say what the advantage of having one in is.
Page 8 in which book? The More Than Human?
The More Than Human, yeah.
Okay, let me open that one up real quick. I actually did not have that one open yet. Okay, the Memrun Recorder. Falling into the category of complex intravenous cybernetics, the Memrun Recorder are tiny embedded computers designed to identify and record every sensory impulse and emotional reaction. They work in a similar way to a brain taping device. And by the way, brain taping device is how you make biroids. Someone basically gets their memory engrams recorded, and then
I got it. I actually don't want a Memrun recorder. I want a ThoughtCom.
Ah, okay. The ThoughtCom is a cybernetic nervous implant based in early technology of the 21st century used to translate thought into synthetic voice. Instead of sending an audio signal, messages can be sent via encrypted frequency, allowing discrete and constant communication between similarly augmented users. This made the implant popular with special forces outfits during the war, and apparently also org crime hit squads. So basically, it lets you act like you have a personal comlink. And you can link it up with anyone else they encounter who has a similar implant.
Right. And unbeknownst to me, Jinteki has the back door. So they've got a spider that's checking what I'm going through, and if certain things pop up, it like pays attention.
I wonder how long until your cyborg teammate gets one of those implanted so she can talk to you wirelessly. Because you've seen Ghost in the Machine, right?
Not yet.
If you get a chance in the animation as well as the movie, you'll hear them talking to each other, but their mouths aren't moving, and it's basically they're using that exact implant to talk to each other.
Okay.
So you can be standing out in a crowd, talking to each other in full conversation with no one knowing you're talking to each other.
Sounds good. Oh, but it's still more money than I'm going to start off with.
What did you roll for cash?
I haven't rolled yet, but it doesn't matter. So, Android Shadow of the Beanstalk launch game.
Oh yeah, because the investigator only has 100 credits. Though it is funny that the investigator starts with a personal comm link, 2 slap patches, and 2 doses of stim.
I got 84.
Okay, so yeah, you'd probably want to get some cash. So
actually, wait a second. How much is a normal comm that I get as an investigator?
well, that's going to be your personal comm link. It's basically your communicator to communicate with the team and stuff.
Right. How much would that normally cost?
Let me pull that equipment list up real quick. Okay. Computers, and a pad is 200 credits.
Okay, and I'd start off with what?
You'd start out with, you rolled what, 80 something?
No.
A personal comm is 25 credits.
What?
A personal comm link is 25 credits.
Oh, okay, and that's the one I'd start off with?
Uh-huh.
Okay, still not enough. Yeah, I guess I need money.
Okay, so for a big favor, that's going to be, let me double check, but I believe 1,500 credits. It just means the corporation equipped you nicely.
Right. And can I get back to 25 since I'm not going to have a SOCCOM and a regular communicator? Or am I? Okay. Oh, that's right, because I don't necessarily want people to know that that's what's going on. Okay. Actually, let's go back to. Sorry, I got distracted. I still think I've got experience, right? Because they didn't do experience?
Yep, you should see it at the bottom of your screen.
Right. Total XP available 85.
Yeah, 80 available is what you're looking for. So if you want to raise your stats, you would just go and click the stat, and it'll pop up with a little box that lets you upgrade or downgrade.
Okay. I'm going to upgrade my cunning. Oops. Okay, wait. Where do you click?
So when you're at your stats, you want to click.
Okay.
See the little gear next to characteristics?
I found it.
And it'll pop up with the box.
My intelligence and cunning up 1. because almost all of my roles are going to be intelligence and cunning. That leaves me 25. Um,
And since you're in the lobby, I totally gave you a character, by the way. Figure
Okay.
might as well do that while we're here.
Okay. I'll move computer hacking to 2.
And it looks like Eric just said he's thinking of going with a Gmod runner.
Okay. Sounds good.
And he posted some weird hacker 80s movie looking character.
Let's see. I've got the Knowledge Society one. Let's use the range flight to 2. And I have 5 more. So that would be...
And have you looked at any talents?
Oh, right. Never mind. Let me take that range flight back to 1.
So one of the ones they recommend for the investigator is bot info, quick draw, and years on the force, if you want to have some experience on the force.
Okay, I don't have experience on the force. I'm figuring I'm pretty new.
Okay.
So I wouldn't have bought information either. And quick draw maybe?
Quick draw is always a good one.
Where are talents on this sheet?
So they're at the very bottom. If you scroll all the way down, you'll see an empty white box that says inactive.
There.
Click in the box and it'll pop up with a drop down.
Click in the box?
Yeah, if you click in the white part of the box, it'll say select a talent, and then there's a drop down. When you click it, it'll bring up everything that is within range 1 for you. Do you see it?
Okay, see the talent box.
So click click under where it says inactive in the white box.
Oh, inactive in the white box.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did it pop up for you?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
So I will.
And when you finish selecting
Quick draw.
talents, another inactive box will pop up under that one you just picked, and you basically will go down and make the pyramid on the. You have to take 2 ones to get the 2 box to pop up, and you'll see it start to populate as you go.
Okay. Enter. And since I have the hacking, I'm going to take a custom rig.
Okay.
And 5 more.
So that would be 1 rank 1 skill of a career skill that's checkmarked, or a rank 1 talent.
Right. Let's see. What's good cop?
Good cop is good cop and bad cop are two talents that work together.
Oh, okay.
So the way good cop works is a tier 2, so it costs 10 experience, that your character can spend 2 advantage from a charm or negotiation to upgrade the ability of an ally's next social check.
Okay, that wouldn't be me anyway. Know-it-all
And-
was tier 2.
And you went with custom rig, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you've got your pad that you start out with. So you've got some extra computer programs on your pad. If you're thinking computer stuff, custom code might be a good one. But that's if you want to be hackerish. If you don't want to be hackerish, I mean, you do have money, so deep pockets is good. But if you want to do net search, that's a good one too. If your character has access to the network, basically your pad, you can use this talent to upgrade the ability check of your next knowledge check during your turn twice, and the difficulty of the check once. So basically, you Google search a knowledge check.
Right. I don't see. I see Net Hunter.
No, it should be net search as a tier 1. If you're seeing, let me double check something real quick. You may be in the if you're seeing Net Hunter, exit out of the box, the search window. You want to click the inactive box on the very far left column. You're in a tier 2 box.
Oh. Got it?
You'll see your tier 1s will go down in the far left column, and then as soon as you put 2 tier 1s, a tier 2 box will appear to the right of those boxes.
To the right of that to show that it can pyramid up.
Mm-hmm. Yep, exactly. It's weird how they did this, that it's upside down in the pyramid instead of the way we're used to seeing it.
Right. Net search.
So net search lets you basically upgrade twice, and then you upgrade the difficulty once, because you might get too much Google information. And of course, your GM may spend it to spare to have your character learn out some seemingly irrelevant, believable information that turns out to be completely and possibly maliciously false.
Okay.
False news, man.
That sounds good.
Which totally makes sense that the new, young, inexperienced clone has to Google something.
Now, can I do that through my implant?
No, the implant is merely for talking. So you communicate. For the net search, you have to actually have something to give you access to the network, which if you upgrade to a neural interface, which is ridiculously expensive, it's that whole cybernetic in your brain stem, so that way it looks like you're part computer. That you're constantly connected to the net. But having a pad is all you require, and I do believe you get one as an investigator. Let me double check.
Right.
Pretty sure that was one of the things. Yep. You have a... Oh, you do not have a pad. You may want to buy one. They're not expensive.
Okay.
Because remember, you do have 1,500 credits for your favor.
Right.
And you've swapped the pistol or cannon for a taser gun. So that means you have a concealed Bucky Weave, which is basically a bulletproof trendy vest, a light pistol or forensics kit.
Okay. Weapon. Oh, armor. Add armor. Bucky Weave.
I'm pulling
it doesn't. Oh, concealed Bucky Weave. That's why I couldn't find Bucky Weave. Okay. Gear.
Yeah, the Bucky weave is good. Of course, the optical
Person
camouflage
Conway.
suit's even better.
Okay. And then 2 doses of stim.
Mm-hmm. You know, the not drug type, just the
Right.
no-dose.
Quantity 2.
So with stim, you can take a maneuver and take stim through a consumable tab such as an auto-ejector. The character receives the stim immediately heals all strain they have suffered at the end of the encounter. Instead of recovering strain, they make a average resilience check and reduce the strain by 1 per success.
Okay, and then also forensic kit. Okay, and then
Just make sure to read carefully in the equipment section because there's a lot of them that are like this or that. But the forensics kit is really cool. It's investigators
right.
not looking.
I don't want the light pistol anyway.
Mm-hmm. The
It
forensics
said
kit is
concealed
definitely a
Bucky
good
weave
thing.
and a light pistol or a forensic kit.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of the light pistol, I'm going to get a forensic kit.
Yeah, I'm a fan of the kit because it adds advantage to vigilance and perception checks made while researching a crime scene.
And I get 2 slot patches.
Which those are the best because those are the instant heals.
Okay.
Slap patch is a one-use emergency medical item used to administer first aid to treat minor wounds.
Wow, and I'm almost fully encumbered now.
It just means you'll have to leave some stuff in the car from time to time.
Uh-huh. Okay. So what page is equipment on?
It starts around page 97 for the regular gear. And there's good workarounds for encumbrance if you're getting close. There's the cross body bag. It's that very the trendy Merce. You know, adds 3 to your encumbrance. A backpack
Wait a
adds
second.
5.
I need to buy the ThoughtCom. So this, oh,
That's going to be further in the book. Let me pull up that part again. Oh, too far. Into spaceships. Definitely too far.
oh, okay. And the gear doesn't have ThoughtCom.
Yeah, that's in the other book.
Okay. So how do I add something that's not on the list?
You'll have to manually put it in.
Right.
It's not that hard. So what you want to do is go to the top of the screen.
Okay.
And you want to see the tab where it says character, vehicles, and custom data.
Oh, put it in custom data?
So you'll click on custom data, and then you can go over to the gear tab.
Oh, okay.
And then you
Gear.
can basically copy paste from the book. And then when you click
Okay.
add gear, it'll now make it something on your other page that you can select and add your character. It's super user friendly for modifications.
.com, encumbrance 0, price 150, description.
And the nice thing is you can export it and email it, so that way if you go from one computer to another or one account to another, so that way it can be shared on multiple accounts.
Paste. Okay.
It's almost like Genesis wants people to be cool modders that mod everything.
Okay, it didn't. Ew. Okay, it didn't see a lot of spaces, so hold on a second. I need to fix it. Where am I? And then, oh, okay. No.
And remember, for cybernetics, you'll have to select the strain threshold modifier is -1.
Okay.
Hey, sweetie, how are you doing?
Not too bad.
You've been super quiet.
Well, I'm still trying to find an image, but none of them are quite right.
I have faith that you will find something close enough, or you can totally just find a person, and then I can Photoshop a cybernetic eye onto that person.
That's what I was actually beginning to.
So if you find a cool face and a cybernetic eye, I can always put those two together for you. Because then it comes down to what cool kind of eye are you looking for?
Actually, this might work. No, but her whole arm is cybernetic. Where's that armor? She's too cutesy.
You're adorable. This character is supposed to be hardcore.
She is.
She served in the Corps.
Okay.
Wow, how the internet has changed. I typed in cybernetic eyes, and all these creepy pictures came up.
Okay, so add.
Yeah.
Apparently, dude's got the bionic eye that goes into a pair of glasses that looks like an eyeball.
Characters. Gear. Add gear. Is it there now? No, it's not there now.
On the custom data
Wait.
page,
Oh, there it is.
you see it?
It says custom. Okay. And so it is 150. So I take that off of there. And okay. So I put in the strain -1 on the gear thing,
Uh-huh.
but it doesn't look like it did it on my character. Because I still have the wound and strain at the same amount. Oh, wait a second. Let me check and see whether strain was originally supposed to start at 12.
I might have found one. She's kind of like
9 plus willpower. No. Yeah, it didn't subtract 1.
no.
That's weird. Okay, so let me go back to the custom data. Here. Edit the ThoughtCom. Oh. Okay, it didn't have the strain threshold modifier. So submit change. Now let me go back to character. Nope, still didn't.
You may have to unselect the gear and then add it back
Oh,
because
that
it's
would
going to
make
have
sense.
when you
the
added it.
old one.
Mm-hmm.
Gear. Unselect. Oh wait, how do you delete something?
There should be there'll be the name, the carrier, the quantity, and then there's a
Right,
little
there's
red
an X there, but it doesn't do anything.
You have
So
to
the
click
X
it twice.
turns into a check mark. Do I have
Yep.
to do something else?
And then click the check mark.
Okay, X check mark.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
it's just
so
wanting
it's
to
a, are
make.
you sure button.
Yeah, exactly. It's one of those. It just wants you to accidentally delete something you'll cry about later because you'll probably cry about later.
Right. Okay.
Especially if you made something super cool and then boop. No.
Nope. Still didn't take the strain off. Okay. Let me take it off again. Let me go back to custom data. Back to gear. Oh, wait a second. It didn't go to edit. It didn't keep the -1 strain multiplier. Okay, now I've got strain threshold modifier -1. Submit changes. Edit. And it's not there.
You may have to refresh.
Oh.
That may be the
Okay.
issue.
Custom data. Gear. Edit. Nope, still 0. -1, submit changes. Refresh. Custom data. Gear. Edit. No, it's just not there. Oh wait, modifier? Do I have to hit the regular modifier to get the strain threshold modifier? Oh no, okay, that's for attribute.
Yeah, the characteristic one is just for attributes. So you may just keep a note, and then when you translate it over to Roll20, just know that your strain is 1 lower, so you're 11, not a 12.
Okay.
It could just be that part's not, or when you created the item and added it, did you check the check mark for equipped?
Check the check mark for equip.
Yeah, usually when you add an item, let me see.
I had to go back to the first one and add gear.
Okay, no, it doesn't have it in there. So yeah, I would just make a note that to let remind yourself -1 strain.
Okay. I will do that. -1 strain for ThoughtCom. Oh, equip. Okay. So add gear. Book filter. Cyber. I'll get so handheld scanner.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Okay.
Freya.
Is she getting uppity?
Yeah.
God bless you.
Thank you.
Regular hacking rig. Ooh, rocket boots.
This is why you're not a runner. You have rocket boots. It just doesn't make sense to run around.
Oh, that must have been in a different universe, in a different book.
Yeah, that's probably in the Keyforge book.
Okay. So, okay, reselecting only Shadow of the Beanstalk stuff.
And of course, anything in the More Than Human book will have to be added in.
Okay. No. So the modular backpack's the thing that helps with encumbrance?
It's just a regular backpack. The modular backpack, I think, is a Star Wars one. I think.
Nope.
That's the Beanstalk one?
It's a Shadow.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, I need the personal comm link. Oh no, I got one of those. Ooh, I can afford a portable rig. Is that a hacking computer thing?
That's the hacking computer system. Yeah, it's like basically carrying a fancy dancy laptop around.
Okay. Oops, and I am over encumbrance if I have that. So 750 is let's see what the modular backpack does. Oh, no, I thought it might give me back some encumbrance. Guns, more guns, melee weapons.
And I'm going to see if
Armor.
Kelly's Cyber Eye is right in the system.
Combat
It is
suit.
right in the system. So, sweetie, you're not going to have to worry about keeping track of your Cyber Eyes removing one black dice. I already got it in the skill for you.
Good. Thank you.
So that way it'll automatically take it out when you roll the skill.
Oh, utility bill. That's what I was looking for. Perfect. And that means I'm only now fully encumbered, not over encumbered. Oops, but I need to see how much that is.
Then you want to purchase for your rigger gear the man bag.
Hold on again. Utility bill. Oh, that's only 20. Wow. Okay, oh no, yeah, the modular backpack says it's +5 encumbrance.
Uh-huh.
Why didn't it do that when I put that in? Modular backpack. Oh, that's right. It did. It just totaled my encumbrance up. Okay. So, modular backpack. Okay, so I have the portable rig. Do we need anything else for hacking?
Nope, that's definitely more than enough to do it.
Okay, and that gives me 384 bucks left.
And
So
remember,
I'm
you
going to
can.
keep that
Yeah, I was gonna say you can always keep the cash.
in case there's something like I want to get after I actually start.
Mm-hmm.
Although I want to check the what is it, More Than Human or World of Android that has additional equipment? No,
Uh,
it's not More Than Human.
there's also a gear book, and I'll send you that too. I think did I send that in Skype?
I don't think so.
Nope, I did not. Let's go ahead and open Skype. Gear and gadgets. There we go.
Okay, and that's
It's coming through the chat right now.
okay.
Sweetie, your character is definitely going to be a beast. You have a soak of 6.
Do I trust you? Oh, okay. Save? No, it's not letting me. Why aren't you letting me save? Oh, okay. Gear and gadgets.
And now let's find your pistol.
Well, I found an interesting picture that I altered slightly. She's got both eyes covered, but it should work.
Okay.
Yeah, there wasn't really anything from Gears and Gadgets that I can't live without, so I'll just keep the money.
Just in case you need to buy donuts for everybody, you know.
Yeah. Okay. So, the stuff. Motivations. Strength, definitely analytical.
Knowledge is power.
Flaw. Ignorance.
Ooh, because you're not wise to the ways of the world yet.
I am not wise to the ways of the world.
Why would someone waste their life taking drugs? It doesn't make sense.
No. That I've been trained for. You mean cops are bad?
A crooked cop? That makes no sense.
Do you want me to
corrupt
send?
cop?
Do you want me to
How
send
can
the
you do
picture
that?
to Unal or to CPPN?
You can either CPPN or you can share it in the Skype.
Oh, that's right. I can do that.
Desired justice. Ooh. Fear.
Nobody wants to buy a Bev dispenser for the office.
I think failure is probably it.
You don't want to be a failure because it looks bad on your creators.
See, yeah, that's what I
Because I'm
chose.
not afraid of death. I think I'm afraid of failure.
You shouldn't fear death because if nothing else, your genetics will be reborn in the next generation.
Right.
Ooh, she's badass looking.
Yeah, she had all this flowing blonde hair and like wispy in the wind, and like I took that shit out.
You're adorable.
Oh, wow. That's nice. You're able to do that yourself? Wow.
Yeah, if you look closer at the picture, you can see where the.
But still, you did a great job, baby.
So I figure I'll use that one, even though it's got both eyes. But the fact that it said police and stuff, I thought, that's cool.
It looks like she's got a visor. I can't see both eyes.
She does. She has a visor. She's got like this weird visor thing. So, whereas my character only has one eye that's replaced.
Okay. So, in the book, it says that clones all have the same name depending upon the type of job they do.
Mm-hmm.
I think my name is Sherlock.
Oh. I like that because you were made to be very perceptive and, like the old entertainment vids where you could see Sherlock do his mind palace thing where he looks and pictures everything in his mind's eye. Okay, I dig that.
Okay, model number H01MS.
That was oddly specific. I like it. Okay, so sweetie, I've got it in Roll20 for you.
Okay, I'm bringing Roll20 back up.
And you have control of your character as well. The only thing I have not finished for you is the talents, the descriptions, and I haven't imported over yet your flaws and stuff. But I did put your.
Do clones have gender?
Not really.
Okay.
I mean, it's up to you whether you have a kinship to all clones in general or just like the batch you were made out. Because remember, they stagger them in levels of sentience, basically. There are some higher echelon clones for different things, and then there's some lower echelon clones for things.
No. Gender.
Oh, gender. Yes, yes. You specifically have gender. Yes.
Okay. What did you think I said?
I thought you said kinder.
Oh.
I was getting an
Well,
announcement
being
beep.
the corporation, they are definitely going to be prejudiced and make me male. Age would be apparent age.
Yeah, it would be a parent age, and then you can always just put in parentheses what your real age is. I'm only 2 years old.
What's the training time for a clone?
It can be pushed fast or it can be done slow. So pretty much you can pick your age, and it's up to you on were you train the old-fashioned way, or was your brain literally mapped out ahead of time with all the programming? Because sometimes they put the clones in basically, if you've ever seen Venture Brothers, the sleeping coffin that teaches you why you sleep. To brainwash you in your sleep.
Okay. So I think I would have had to have gone through the academy for them to take me.
Okay.
How long is that here? 9 months?
Yeah, normal police academy would be like 9 months.
Okay, so I am 10 months old.
Ooh.
Height, 6'1". That makes me tall, but not too tall. Build, average hair, brown average eyes, brown average notable features. Clone. So what type of perception check do people need to make to realize I'm a clone?
It depends. How common is the Sherlock model?
I don't think it'd be very common.
So this is like one of these someone's little pet projects. No, I'm totally cool with that. There's only like a handful of Sherlocks out there. Probably the corporation keeps you super secret for its own police. Because remember, the corps have their own police departments.
Right.
You're their secret investigator weapon. They found a corpse at the bottom of a waterfall in Switzerland, and they used its DNA. You're Sherlock Holmes in the 21st century. There's actually a cartoon about that.
Okay. So I think I'm done.
All right, cool. Kelly's done an Enroll20 herself.
Okay, let me export. All data. Oh, wait, no. I don't need that. Okay.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
Export selected. Okay. Oh, okay. Where is this file? Desktop. What is today? 9/10. No. downloads.
Don't you love it when it hides the file
Okay.
somewhere?
So, yeah. Do you know where it saves exports?
I do not.
Okay. In that case, is it easier for me to print and then make it a PDF and send it to you?
Yeah, you can do it that way and just send it to me as a PDF and I'll put it into Roll20 for you.
Okay. Oh, I need an image. I'll worry about an image later.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Okay. And then I'm on Skype. No. Add file.
So, for some reason, I can't actually select pop out, but it still only limits it to the window.
It's probably because I'm
And-
in there right now, so...
I was like, because I can't actually do anything to
And
it, really.
after you make changes in the settings, make sure you refresh. Oh, and Scott just sent me some stuff. I will accept Sherlock. I trust Scott. Ooh, and it's in a PDF format I can copy paste, which is the best.
Oh, okay, good.
That's even better because that way I can copy the strength, flaw, desire, and fears.
Okay, I just put the titles up there. I don't really have details yet, but
Oh no!
basically, it's all because I'm a clone.
Mm-hmm.
I thought they were appropriate.
They're all good ones. I mean, analytical is a great one, especially since you have the big brain and the cunningness.
Yeah.
Is it working now for you?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh, you're looking at the final product?
No, I'm looking at the images for Sherlock Holmes in the 22nd century.
Oh.
That's what I want.
It's a pretty cute little animation series.
That is perfect.
The fact that the police cyborg gets turned into Watson. I mean, it's a series that goes way back in the air. Yeah, Sherlock Holmes in the 22nd century. Television.
There you go.
By DIC Entertainment. How long ago was this? Oh my god, it originally released back in May 6th of 1999. Huge list of voice actors on it, too.
Yeah, I sent you the picture.
You've got that strong chin profile and that long, observant nose.
Yes. So I think if somebody, I think somebody should still be able to figure out that I'm a clone with the perception.
Mm-hmm. But if you try a little bit, there's just not enough of you out there to like common person to spot it right off the bat.
Right.
Until somebody says, "Look at this clone chicken. Do you feel any relation to this?" And then you clearly point out to them, if you were anyone observant, you'd notice the rat tails in the dumpster over there. I don't think it's chicken meat. I think it's
Yes, according to new Angeli's food laws, this can have up to 75% filler. Do you want me to go into what filler is?
it's the sweepings. Oh, and there is the ridiculously cool item called the Lazarus Patch in Gears and Gadgets that literally it can save a character who has suffered from death on the critical injury roll. It's a one-time emergency patch that lets them make an average medicine check to bring the dead back to life. As long as they're recently dead. Those suckers are 1,000 credits a pop. Oh, and for those folks who are very cheap, there is the Zap, which is the knockoff healer that it heals just like a regular patch, but you take 1 strain every time you heal with it.
Every time you what?
Every time you use one to heal, you take 1 strain. And it's
Permanently?
oh no, just until you can heal up. But each, how normally you would normally just put on a slap patch and heal up 5 points. This one,
okay.
you heal, but you take 1 strain because it's the cheap knockoff medicine. And it's, half the price almost.
Oh, okay.
Because it's the cheap knockoff.
Okay, it is like 9:30.
Yep, I thought you'd already say you need to go to bed, but
yeah, well, I'm logging, guys. So
okay, we'll call it a productive night if we did something at least.
Yeah.
And so far, the only person who's chimed in is Eric, and that's with the Gmod runner.
Cool. So we've got an investigator, which is good.
Mm-hmm.
We've got some muscle. We've got a runner. I wonder what Joseph and Vincent will pick.
Mm-hmm. So we have the good startings for a cop squad. And I'm going to be writing up a couple different chiefs, lieutenant chiefs that you guys report to, and you get to pick which one is your police chief. Yes, I'm totally going to rip off a couple famous cops chiefs from different TV shows. You get to pick who's yelling at you or if they're giving you the niceness.
That's fine.
Can we pick Barney Miller?
In that case, your squad gets screwed. All of a sudden, you realize your squad's not allowed to have bullets in your guns.
There's something I was gonna say, but okay. I'll write up a background. I mean, like a little mini bio and stuff eventually too.
Okay.
For my character. So, but alrighty, guys. I am
Night,
logging.
night, sweet dreams.
Have a good night, because you got to get up early in the morning.
Yes, Carrie's picking me up before 6 a.m.
Don't wake me up.
I'll try not to. All right, bye.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye.
Later, Scott. I'll see you tomorrow, by the way.
Right.
Star Wars tomorrow, yep.
Yep.
All right, have a good night, man.
You too.